Hello guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. It is yours truly, jogarmd, and well, let's get into it. But before I actually get into it, please guys, give this a thumbs up or subscribe. It is all very much appreciative. Feel free to comment down in the comment section down below. Give me some feedback, what I can do to improve. But now let's jump into this video, because first of all guys, nonetheless, this is a very late or early video depending where you are located, though I did feel the need to grind and get this one out because I just felt the need to get a pre-match video out before the final. And while there were lots of pre-match words exchanged in the press conference, I'm going to focus on both teams come up. Because first of all, in the group stages, Real Madrid were in Group C with the likes of Napoli, Braga, and Union Berlin. Dortmund, on the other hand, were in Group F with the likes of PSG, AC Milan, and Newcastle United. Where for Real Madrid, it looked like a very comfortable group, unlike Dortmund in the group of death. And well, at the beginning of the campaign, with no disrespect to Dortmund, but on paper, they just didn't look like they were going to come out of this one alive. But starting with Dortmund, first in the group stages, like I said, it did not look like they were to be the candidates, and not only to make it through, but to win the group in its entirety, because somehow Dortmund went on to win their group winning of 3 wins for their matches, 2 draws, and 1 loss to PSG, ending with 11 points, while PSG ended up having 8 points, which on paper was honestly quite shocking because PSG honestly does have the better squad and their expectations as a club is much more higher. But in the round of 16, Dortmund did face PSV. In that first leg, it did end in a draw, but in their second leg, they were able to overcome this Netherlands side and just ended up rounding a 3-1 on aggregate. And then as we do go into the quarterfinals, they did go on to face Atletico Madrid, who were honestly the heavy favorites, especially after taking out Inter Milan. And well, it did look for a moment actually that Atletico were going to win, as they did win 2-1 on that first leg. But that second leg, Dortmund did turn it around with a scoreline of 4-2, which ended 5-4 on aggregate. So it was very unexpected considering it was Atletico. And then lastly, since Barcelona did choke their lead, this German side were set to face PSG once more. And since they were a known opponent, obviously we were going to have a very tight game. But PSG nonetheless were the heavy favorites. Dortmund did hold them off in the first leg with a 1-0 victory. And the second leg, I was expecting Mbappe to come back, make his masterclass, but he didn't show. And Dortmund did, with Hummels with that goal, rounding it out with 2-0 on aggregate. And ultimately in the league, guys, Dortmund did defy the odds, but they were doing so hot in the league since they only had 18 wins, 9 draws, and 7 losses, only finishing 5th place, and they barely made a Champions League spot due to the new format. But now when we talk about Real Madrid, in our case, we had a very comfortable group on paper where we did win 6 out of 6 games, 18 points. But don't let these wins steer you away, guys, because honestly, in the beginning, we did have very shaky performances, but when it came to the group stages, especially in the round of 16, we were set to face RB Leipzig, who I have to say were honestly very good. In the first leg, we beat them 1-0, and in the second, it turned out to be 1-1, beating them 2-1 on aggregate. But honestly, on a good day for them, I'm 100% positive they could have knocked us out. Xavi Simons was really pulling the strings, and Openda, unfortunately, was not having a goal-scoring type of night, so it could have been honestly completely different. But in the quarterfinals, we did face Man City once again, and guys, it just feels like the Champions League just wants us to continue to have this match every year. But this one by far was not easy. The first leg we drew 3-3, and in the second leg we tied again 1-1, taking us to penalties, and we just won 4-3 on penalties. And I'd say if it wasn't for Kepa's tips for Lunin, who knows how it could have ended. We didn't win that second game in a fashionable way, but we had to park the bus and win. And then lastly, guys, Bayern, where we did have a very exciting first leg with the scoreline of 2-2, and the second leg was much more exciting. But while there was much controversy due to some refereeing decisions, we ultimately did win with the scoreline of 2-1 with a 4-3 scoreline on aggregate. And well, Ultimately, guys, that was our UCL campaign so far. And compared to Dortmund, we honestly had a much better league campaign, I'd have to say, as we not only did win the league comfortably, but we had 29 wins, 8 draws, and only 1 loss. So, of course, statistic wise, it's easy to say that we are the favorites. And that's really it for us. But ultimately, guys, that's how we got here. Clearly, for one team, they were complete underdogs, and the other was heavy experience and heritage, of course. So I'm very excited to see what this clash is going to have for us ultimately. But now, guys, I would like to say that this is completely official. Ancelotti has stated Courtois will start due to Lunen's illness. Therefore, there is no more debate on this one. I honestly expected it. And having said this, guys, this is the whole squad list that is listed to your left. On the right, this is the lineup I am expecting for our UCL final. So in goal, we're having Thibaut Courtois as our right back, Carvajal as our two center back pairings, Nacho and Rudiger as our left back. We are talking Mendy. In the midfield, we're having Camavinga as our DM, Valverde to the right, Kroos to the left center mid. Up top, we're going to have Bellingham. And then as our strikers, none other than Vinny Jr. and Rodrigo. And guys, this is the lineup that I'm expecting, and especially since Chouameni has picked up that injury, right, and he's not going to be playing, unfortunately. But I'm expecting this team to really get us over the line, and I really don't see an issue why that can't happen, right? I know there's a lot of doubts, but ultimately it is what it is. And with that being said, guys, this is pretty much the end of my pre-match video. If you have any thoughts, feel free to comment down below. Happy to hear what you guys have to say. It has been a ride this season, guys. Lots of up and down moments, definitely more ups, thankfully. But let's enjoy this and hope we can lift our 15th UCL trophy and give our club legend Kroos a fulfilling farewell. So I hope you guys enjoy your weekend, enjoy Kroos' last game, and that is all, my madristas. As always, Hala Madrid y nada más.